Yep, that's me. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I like to call this my music therapy session. This is where I spend hours, and when I say hours, I mean hours, doing nothing but just sitting down and allowing the music to speak to me. Music is very therapeutic for me, so I do nothing, I just sit there and allow the music to just speak to me. And in most cases, actually in all cases, it is normally gospel music. Now, do I do this all the time? Well, it depends with the season I'm in. There are seasons where I will do this every day, especially in hard seasons where I where things are so tough. So I do this almost every day, spend a lot of hours listening to music, and it becomes one of the major reasons I'm able to face that day or the next day. Again, there's a season where I'll do this once in 3 months or perhaps once in a month. It just depends. It depends with how tough that particular season is. However, this is very therapeutic for me, and this is how I started this day. I just sat down and allowed the music to speak to me. Although there was nothing tough happening, I just wanted to spend time in the presence of good gospel music, and it was very refreshing, to say the least. And in case you find my movements to be a bit weird, it's because I filmed this in time lapse and then edited it in slow motion. Talk about irony. I am at a point where I like to eat things or food that actually fill the stomach, and these buns felt like child's play. They were not filling at all, so I ended up eating a lot of them. And also, when I was going to buy the buns, I was not going for this type of buns. There are some buns that are a bit heavy and a bit filling. These ones, they had cream in the middle, and I could care less for the cream. My feelings for them, I don't know how I felt about this type of buns. My feelings were neither here nor there. The only problem I had with them is that they were very fluffy and light, therefore they are not filling. This is the type of thing you eat when you don't want to have anything heavy. So you can eat this maybe early in the morning or late in the evening when you don't want to eat anything heavy. But for someone like me that likes to have her made morning meal a bit heavy, this was quite disappointing. But hey, it already happened and now I know. So the next time I'll make better choice. Today, let us start with a little simulation. Imagine it's on a Sunday morning, you are about to go to church. Perhaps there is a visiting guest preacher whom you love, or whoever is going to be preaching on that day. It's someone you love to hear their sermons. It could be a pastor, it could be a visiting pastor. In short, it is a service you do not want to miss. And you have done your level best to arrive on time. Or even perhaps you're the type, which is a good type, that loves to go to church, that loves to go to church early, which is a good thing. So imagine you are doing all this. You're preparing yourself. It's on a Sunday morning. And it is not every day. On this particular morning, you are there busy preparing. And then, out of nowhere, a neighbor approaches you. This neighbor is supposed to go for an interview. This neighbor has been looking for a job for the longest time. This neighbor approaches you. Their electricity, or his or her electricity, has finished. They don't have tokens. They knock on your door and then they ask you to kindly allow them some room to iron their clothes. So imagine, let us make it worse kidogo. Imagine you are almost late. Maybe something happened and now you are late. You are late going to church and you do not want to miss your favorite pastor preaching. I want you to imagine, here comes your neighbor. You are late. So this is the thing. If you allow your neighbor to come in, iron their clothes and leave, you are most likely to even be more late. Or who knows, perhaps you might even miss the service. Or, so that is scenario 1. Scenario 2, there is a neighbor who is sick. You have a car. You can either use your car to go to church because, remember, the person who is preaching today, you believe the message they are going to give, it's a message that is going to bless you. What will you do? Will you help the neighbor and take them to hospital using your car? Or will you give them money to go and take a cab and take them themselves to the hospital? Or will you call another neighbor and ask the other neighbor to help? Or will you take your car, forgo the church service and take them to church? What will you do? And remember, this is a service you believe, you think, you believe kabisa, you believe from the bottom of your heart. That day, the person that is going to preach, they have your miracle, they have your answer. What will you do? Use your car and take this neighbor to the hospital? Or give this neighbor some money, achukue Uber, impeleke hospital? Or call another neighbor, take them to the hospital as you run along to church? How will you see this neighbor? Will you look at this neighbor as someone who needs help? Or will you see this neighbor as an attack from the devil? As something that the devil is using to hold you back from going to church on that Sunday so that you don't get your miracle? What will you do? What will you do? I know this one is slightly simple. Most of us are like, I will take the neighbor to the hospital. I will use my church, drive so fast, take the neighbor to the hospital, leave them there, quickly come. But put yourself in that shoe. What would you really do? Now the first scenario that I started in, what if it is a neighbor who has come in? They are requesting you to give them just 3 minutes to iron their clothes. They're asking, they want to iron their clothes, their husband's clothes, their 3 children's clothes. What will you do? Will you look at that scenario as an attack from the devil to prevent you from going to church? And remember, it is this one time. I'm not saying it is every day. It is this one time. Will you look at it as a scenario that is preventing you from going to church? Will you look at it as an attack from the devil that is making you be late to church? Or will you see it as an opportunity to help somebody? Think about that. Because now this, I believe, is similar to the story of the Good Samaritan. Before we are quick to judge the people that passed the injured man on the road, let us be quick. Let us try to put ourselves in the same shoe. A Jewish priest came along, but when he saw the man lying there, he crossed to the other side of the road and passed him by. Maybe he was rushing to go to a service, the way perhaps you would have done. A temple assistant walked over, looked at him lying there, but he also passed him by the other side. Maybe the temple assistant saw this is a distraction from the devil. Then a despised Samaritan. In our times, we can say somebody who is not even born again, maybe even somebody who is not even a Christian, reached out and helped this person. Not everything is an attack from the devil to hold you back. So I want you to be serious. This is our lesson in Luke chapter 9. What would you have done? Would you have reached out to help, or would you have seen that as an attack from the devil? Take your time and think and put yourself in that shoe. And then go back and read the story of the Samaritan. That is Luke chapter 9 from verse 30 to 36. And think critically and see yourself. Who are you? Are you the Jewish priest? Are you the temple assistant? Or are you the Samaritan? Think about this. And then the last lesson, verse 42, this is the story where Jesus visits Martha and Mary. So Martha was busy preparing, taking care of the food and all stuff. And then you have Mary. So Jesus had gone to visit Martha and Mary. And then so Martha was busy preparing, make sure there is enough food for Jesus and the guest. But Mary had decided to sit and listen to Jesus. Verse 41, but the Lord, verse 40, but Martha was worrying over the big dinner she was preparing. She came to Jesus and said, Lord, doesn't it seem unfair to you that my sister just sits here while I do all the work? Tell her to come and help me. But the Lord said to her, my dear Martha, I don't know why this, when I read this line, it touched my heart. I don't know why. My dear Martha, you are so upset over all these details. There is really only one thing worth being concerned about. Mary has discovered it and I won't take it away from her. The only one thing that should truly occupy our minds is being at the feet of Jesus. May I make that my focal, my central point in my life. May you make this the central point in your life. May God help us. I am speaking to myself too. May God help us to be concerned about, to care about, to give it our best, that we make Jesus the focus of our life, the center point of our life, that we would think about and act upon being at the feet of Jesus all the days of our lives. Take time and think about these two things carefully. And yep, this is me ending my day the way it started, by relaxing. I mean, I had such a long day. Sips tea, literary. Well, I was watching a movie. Finally, I got to sit down and unwind after having such a productive day. No irony intended. And once again, this was filmed in time lapse and then edited in slow motion. Because I mean, hey, if you discover a feature, why not use it twice?